All right, this is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and we are back with another Raid Shadow Legends free to play mystery shard only run playthrough. So, I get a lot of people asking me on comments, which hero should I build? What hero should I do? Which is the best hero? This is the best hero, and I figured I'd do a video about it. That's what we're gonna do today. So, here's the short answer. If you wanted the short answer before you get into the video, the short answer is there is no best hero. There is no best team. I mean, that's subjective. There are legendaries obviously out there that are, way better. There's heroes that are going to just demolish you. That's just how it is. But that's like, we're talking legendaries and we're talking maybe even a few epics. But when it comes to like someone who's just starting the game or somebody who's maybe even mid game and they have like maybe 10 heroes that they're really working with right now, and they're like, who should I build? I got this person, I got that person. Who should I build and who should I move forward with in order to progress in the game? Now, short answer is there's too many things in this game. There's too many things in this game that need heroes. And even if you built 5 of the best heroes that you've ever had in your entire life, literally they can make you breakfast and they can clean up your house all at the same time. Even if you did that, you still can't beat all the content in the game. There's literally not 5 heroes in this game that can do every single piece of content in this game, and that's just the reality of it. So what do you need to do? Well, let's start from the beginning. So in the beginning, so if you are interested, there is a starting 5 team that you can pull together, and I have a video for that under my champion spotlights. It's called the starting 5. They're basically the first 5 heroes that you can build to make sure you have a solid team and move forward. Now, after that, you're going to start adding to your team. Now, the reality is you're going to need to have some specific things. Like there's specific things that we'll say aren't necessarily needed, but are going to help you move forward quicker. Now, we obviously have a decent amount of heroes. At this moment, I believe we have 40 level 60s. We've been playing for about 11 months, so we have a lot of heroes, right? We have a ton that we can use. We just got your Carl on the last video. So we're moving forward pretty well here at this point. Now, the starting 5 was Kale, obviously, because he had poisons, he has an AoE, he's a good nuker, he's great as an all-round hero, so that's why we pick him. Then you pick Spirit Host because she has the attack up 50%. Really, that's the main one, but she also has removed debuffs. Then we pull out War Maiden. We use her because she can drop defense, and she's actually a good hero in the sense that she has a force affinity. Makes it easier to kill off some of the heroes that your normal team, because most people are going to have heroes that are all spirit and magic in the beginning. That's just unfortunately your life. And having her as a force affinity hero is very useful for killing things that force affinity is strong against. Then we move into Diabolist, who is a speed up hero turn meter increaser. So that's someone you want on your team. You want your team going as fast as possible. And then finally, we brought in Valerie as a shield healer, and she also increases all of your buffs, and I believe she lowers all your debuffs as well. So those are the starting 5. Those are the ones that really get you through. All right, now what do you do to make this team better? So if we're just talking about one specific team that'll beat dungeons and do things, how do you make this team better? All right, so I personally built someone in the beginning because I pulled him early. That person is Apothecary. Now, why did I build him first? Well, because he can heal insane. Like his heals are really strong. It's a single target heal, which obviously sucks if you're trying to heal an entire team, but in the beginning it's still amazing, and even now it's amazing. But he's got his turn meter increase, and he's got a 3-hitter on his A1. So basically he's good in every content. I mean, he's going to keep your whole team alive, he's going to keep your whole team getting their turn meter, and he's going to move you forward. Now, in the beginning, he didn't have that much speed. I actually just reworked him with some of the new gear that we've been getting from the Arbiter series. So I found some pieces that were a little bit better, and we were able to get him now up into 252 speed, which is exactly kind of where I want my heroes to be at this point. I actually would like to push him a little bit further, even closer to 300, because I want to be able to speed up the rest of my heroes, and unfortunately, right now they all suck as far as speed. So when you're building your next heroes, just know that sometimes just speeding up your entire team can be the difference between winning and losing. I mean, if you have a team that's at 150 speed trying to beat stage 20 dungeons, your bosses are going to be getting more turns than they need to be getting, all right? If you're going 250, 200, yeah, you're going to get more turns, you're going to go faster, you're going to get a couple more, you're going to reset your cooldowns, and you're going to be able to beat those bosses much easier. So the number one thing I could say to anyone who's building your team is before you go crazy building a new hero, why don't you focus on your stats first? Get your speed up extremely high. Even if all of your other stats suck, if your speed is like 250, you might be able to beat some of these dungeons even with the worst heroes ever because they're going to get 2 or 3 turns versus whatever boss you're fighting, okay? So speed is a big deal. Now, that's what we started with on him. We are going to be now progressively moving forward because we want our turn meter increaser to be the fastest person on your entire team. So we've got him built up. He's all ready to go. But he is much better than Diablos in the sense that he can actually heal. Diablos unfortunately cannot do that. She can reduce turn meter of the other team, and she's good. She's got a sleep, she's got a sleep hit. She can increase speed and she can decrease turn meter. Now, unfortunately, these are on two separate skills. So she's basically doing kind of outside of the decreasing turn meter. She's doing kind of what Apothecary does in one turn. So he can come in and he does speed up and he fills turn meter. See what I mean? So it's literally one skill gets it done, and then he starts moving back on to either healing with a 2-turn, which is insane. Basically, he goes, stops, goes, heals. You know what I mean? And then he's got his 3-hitter on his A1. So he's either attacking, and since we have him in his mastery with Giant Slayer, he's getting extra damage on those hits also. So that's why I moved into him and why he's a little bit better. Now, so that's kind of how you should think about every single thing that you do. You're going to want a turn meter increase. You're going to want a attack up hero. If you're using a full defense team, then you might consider bringing in a defense up hero because that will increase the defense, hence increasing their power and all that. But for this specific team, yes, we want somebody who can do attack up. We want someone who can do defense down. So the next person in line here, we'll just kind of go through, like for Spirit Host in the arena, my upgrade to her was basically Arbiter. Now, there are other heroes that can do attack up, so don't think that you have to finish all the quests and get Arbiter for this to make sense. But she was my next attack up hero, and that's literally how long I played. It took us 200 days to get her, and that was my next upgrade to my attack up hero. I can bring her into the arena now, and she has revive. She has removes buffs. She can do turn meter increase on 2 skills. Very good hero as far as arena goes. She's got a great speed lead for her mastery, for her aura. See, 30% in speed in all battles, whereas our girl here has 10% in all battles. So that basically means that I still use Spirit Host sometimes as a lead in other battles. It just means that in the arena, now Spirit Host has fallen off. Now, you can still use her. She actually is really good in the arena. It's weird that she's good, but she is. She can one-shot heroes if you build her as attack, like pure attack. She's a little crazy, but yeah, I like her. She's definitely got a lot of things you can do with her. But either way, that would be your upgrade. Now, when you go to War Maiden, she's got a defense down skill, okay? So she's got this skill, which has a 75% chance of decreasing defense by 60%. Once you get this, it's basically 100% as long as your accuracy is high. And that's it. Like, she can drop the defense of everybody. And that goes for arena, I still use her in my arena team. That's how good she is. That's how much I have not found somebody who can do what she does. But granted, I don't pull any shards. So that's my life. If you have heroes that drop defense, I think, what is it, Deacon? I think it was Deacon that does it. She would be a good upgrade. Here, let's look. Let's just make sure, because I don't want to tell you guys the wrong thing. I don't want to say the wrong things. What is he? Is he Banner or is he the other one? Let's see. He's in here. I think he's the other one. I think he's Sacred Order. Sacred Order is my favorite thing. Here we go. Deacon Armstrong. So he comes in. He has a leech, which is awesome. He has attack all enemy. Yeah, 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. All right. And then he's got a fill turn meter as well. So now you've got someone who can literally fill the shoes of 2 heroes. How crazy is that? All right. So now he can fill the turn meter of all allies. He can decrease the turn meter of all enemies. And he's got a drop defense for 2 turns. All right. So basically you would bring him in. Now, honestly, it's a little bit tight. If your heroes are very fast, like his thing is increased speed in all battles by 19%. So that's almost double of what Spirit Host can do. So if you were going to build him, then yeah, you would put him as your speed lead if you don't have anyone else. And I would honestly put his defense down first and then bring Apothecary in. Because then you can have Apothecary come in, speed the whole team up, make sure he can drop defense. Then he drops defense. And then on the next turn, he'll come in and speed up your team again while decreasing their turn meter. So it's like, I mean, the other option is, it depends on who you're fighting. You could bring him in and have him fill turn meter and drop defense. I mean, and decrease their turn meter. And then have War Maiden come in and drop defense. So now you're getting more options. You see what I mean? Like, there's things you can do. Having 2 drop defense heroes and 2 speeders isn't really that big of a problem. I mean, if that's your problem, then you've got good problems, okay? But he could be the upgrade for either one of those heroes. See what I mean? So this is how you should be kind of working your main team, if you will, as you say. Now, when we go into who we got, so Valerie. She's tough to beat because she's kind of, it's so crazy that I really didn't think she was that good, but she is so good now. Like, her skills they just mesh really well. Her first skill is useless, so don't worry about it. She increases the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. Also decreases the duration of all debuffs on all allies by 1 turn. So it's like, you're basically getting a 1-for-1. You're removing crap off your heroes, and you're getting an attack buff, and all of your buffs are getting extended, which is nice. And then she has a shield on all allies with a heal. This is the skill, though, that really, really makes her like shine above everyone else. She is awesome. This is a great skill. If you have counterattacks, they get another round. If you have defense up, it gets another round. Attack up. I don't think it does unkillable. It might do unkillable. I don't remember. But either way, it does all of them. I don't have any unkillables that it can extend. I believe it does, though. So you can extend all of your buffs just by having her on, and she has a shield and a heal, and she's awesome. All right. She also has a HP aura in Faction Crypts. Now, if you wanted to upgrade from her, let's say you wanted to upgrade from her. I don't know what. I got to find them. I don't know. I don't know these guys because I don't really use them that much. So I have to kind of dig in here and look around for where they are before I can actually, what is this? Is Undead. What's the other one? Demon Spawn? I don't think it's Demon Spawn. Maybe Knights Revan. Maybe this is the one we're looking for. Yes, it is. Miscreated Monster. All right, so this guy would be a big upgrade, I would say. So now he's got a stun 2 times, all right? Each hit has a 15% chance of placing a stun, has a 50% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff turn if the stun debuff is placed. So now you've got somebody who can do this on his A1. So now, if you have heroes that are faster, that'll speed through their, not heroes, but enemies that can speed through their turns faster, they might wear that decreased defense off. So now you got somebody who can come in and place it on those fast heroes. Here, you've got to attack all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn, and places a shield buff on all allies for 3 turns equal to 25% of the damage inflicted. So now you've got something special here. He's going to drop a shield off his damage. Valerie's shield is based on her level. So once you hit 60, that shield is never getting better. This shield, however, can get better if you just increase his attack and make him stronger. You keep constantly building up that shield. Then you've got an ally protection on all allies, except him, obviously, because he's the one that's got to do it. And he heals his champion by 50% of their max HP. So now he's healing himself and placing continuous heals on himself and protecting everybody and shielding and stunning. I mean, are you starting to see where this is going? And then he places a fear debuff on an attacker for 1 turn whenever an ally is attacked while under ally protection. So that's insane. So basically now you've got somebody who is constantly dropping fears on people when they attack you. And he's got HP in all battles. So if you need more HP, you're good. So now this, if you have a full arena team or whatever of HP heroes, this guy's the one you want to bring in. You want to bring in that 33% HP guy as your lead and just throw some speed on them, and then they're good. So he could be an awesome upgrade for Valerie. You know what I mean? He does a little bit different things, but he's way more useful in the sense that his shield's better. All right, so that would be let's close this. That would be Valerie's update. Now, I think, who was the last one? Who did we do? We did, all right, so Nukers. We did Spirit Host, we did her, we did Diabolist, we did Valerie. So now you're Nuker. So, all right. Really, it just depends on what heroes you get. I mean, there's honestly half the heroes in this game are Nukers. There's so many Nukers, I can't even count. You could replace, just on the heroes that I have, you could replace Kale with Elhain. Technically, Aethel, I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. You could replace him with Galek. You could replace him with, here we go, let's go up this way. We want more nukers. You could replace him with Dark Aethel. You could replace him with Archmage if you built him as a attacker. I replaced him with Dark Elhain because she's freaking amazing and she does a ton of damage and I love her. So yeah, we just really like her. You could replace her with pretty much any nuker in the game. Yannicka, you could replace Kayle with technically. I mean, I wouldn't do it because I don't think she's as good at nuking as other people. She's definitely good at tearing down Death Knight or any Force Affinity hero. She's great at doing that and also taking down some heroes. I also have her in the Soul Reap Blessing, so she's really good for Arena. She takes Death Knight down, and if he gets that little bit of HP at the end that's really freaking annoying, she just Soul Reaps the jerk, and then he's gone. So you can upgrade with anybody, okay? Now, this is in the beginning. You definitely just want to find heroes that can replace these guys. Now, I built all of these, the starting 5 to 60, right from the get-go because that's what I had. I didn't have any other heroes. I'm only pulling Mystery Shards. So I would build these 5 to 60 and move forward. And then I put Apothecary on my team instead of Diabolist. I built Diabolist later on. But if you don't have Apothecary, can't pull them, can't find someone better, then I would just bring Diabolist in. Or I would wait until you get High Katoon the first month and then maybe build her and bring her in as your turn meter booster. She's got a 19% speed boost, so that works. She's got turn meter reduction. She's got speed up and turn meter, and she also has a decreased speed on her A1, which is nice. So you can use her. Only downside is she doesn't heal, so you're going to have to make sure that your secondary healer is really good or can hold up, whatever's going on. That's why we have her in, in a regen set, because she doesn't heal. So we want her to constantly be healing and herself and not worrying about dying, so she's constantly getting everyone else to go. So if she can get Apothecary to speed up, if you have him, then he can heal you back. All right, so that's someone you could also replace with as a secondary for Spirit Host, okay? I mean, not Spirit Host, for Apothecary or Diabolist. There's plenty of heroes out there you can use. And remember, these are just the heroes that I'm using right now. There's hundreds and hundreds of heroes you can switch. So for your starting 5, I would build the starting 5. That's me personally. But if you find someone who can replace these heroes that's better, like if you pull Miscreated Monster the first day, you don't have to suffer like I'm suffering. I have to do what I have to do because I can't pull these guys. I'm not allowed to. I've forced this restriction on myself, so I can't use them. But if you pull Miscreated Monster the first week, you're damn well using him in place of Valerie. Like, you're going to bring him in and make sure that he's built insanely high HP and that he can get that, the stuns off, high accuracy, all those things. So when you're asking yourself, what hero should I build next? You got to think about what value that hero brings to your team, all right? That's really all you need to think about. The next hero, if you're going to replace a hero, what value does the next hero that you're bring to the team that the hero that you're replacing him with doesn't do, all right? So like nukers, I mean, we can go in here all day. I mean, I'll see if I can remember. Like I said, I don't use them. I only know who I see. So Rhonda, if you had Rhonda in the beginning, you could make her a nuker. You can easily turn her into a nuker. What's her A? Here we go. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Make that her A1 in the arena. Boom. That's it. Done. She starts off with that. All right. You would have, in this instance, if you only replaced Kayle, you would have, what's his name? Apothecary or whichever your speed turner is. Have them increase turn meter. Have Spirit Host put attack up. Have War Maiden defense down, and then have her just wipe the whole team. And that's the order. You need to make sure you're paying attention to your speed tuning. Make sure that the speeds are correct. So whoever your fastest hero, your turn meter is, needs to be first, then attack up, then defense down, then nuke, okay? So that's how your speeds need to be running. And then you would just have her nuke. So that's one that everyone's going to get. Well, most people. I don't know I think she's gone now. So at this point, you would get Arctic, right? Right now, we're using Arctic. If you're just starting the game and you have him, there you go. He's your nuker if you want. All right, you could bring him in, attacks all enemies. He's got 2 of them. So just have him be your nuker and use the exact same team I just had, and it works just fine. You can use them in conjunction, and trust me, I've been beaten by rare teams with literally my starting 5 heroes. I've been nuked by them for years, all right, in other accounts and other stuff. So they can kill you. If your team is fast and strong, you will win, all right? So don't worry about that. You might not beat the high-end heroes that have, like, fear and all the crazy stuff, but you'll be able to beat your average team because they're going to be too slow. So speed is the most important thing in Arena. All right, so let's just go through some of the Let's see what some of these things are. So who's a nuker that you could... Let's go epic. I don't even know who's in here that's really good. I'm sure there's a couple that I'm going to miss, so if I don't see one that, you know, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you missed him, it's because I'm just literally going, oh my God, Saltus, this guy is a, well, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word I'm thinking, a dick. That's the word. This guy is a monster nuker. Like, every time I see him in the arena, I get my ass handed to me. I've beaten him when he's not built correctly, but if he's built right, he will survive all your nukes and he will nuke the crap out of your whole team and kill them in one hit. Literally the whole team just done. So if you do pull Saltus Dragonbane, just know this guy is a beast and he's awesome and you should build him immediately as your nuker or as anything, to be honest. He's great for everything. So he's awesome. Let's get out of here. Let's go into some of the more fun areas. So who else do I get nuked by? I get nuked by a lot of teams, a lot of heroes. I don't know how Supreme Kale is. I don't really care about him. We're not going to worry about him. Lydia, it's going to take a while, so we're going to stay away from her. I'm trying to think who I would build as a like crazy ass nuker. Undead Hordes. All right, so Rhodos is good as a single target. He keeps getting extra attacks. Mashald is insane. This guy can heal and just kill your whole team. He'll kill you one at a time and just keep healing himself up. So Mashald is awesome. I would assume Vlad is good. Everyone talks about him, but I don't really like him that much. Jack's cool if you need some fears and things like that. It's funny because a lot of the best nukers are like ones that do other things, obviously. You want them to be able to kind of pull out as many things as possible in one skill. All right. I'm trying to think who kills me in the arena. You know, let's go in the arena. Who's some good nukers? Oh, no, we don't want this. Let's go in the arena. Shall we? All right, so here we go. All right, so this guy right here, he's awesome for defense down. If you pull him, immediately build him. All right, he's got a drop defense and a drop attack. So he's got two things on one thing. He increases accuracy of your team so you can land your stuff, and he's got a two-hitter. So if you pull Stagnite, you just won the game. That's kind of how I feel about Apothecary. Those are the two heroes that, like, you pull them in the beginning of the game, you're set. You're good. All right, so don't think that they're bad. This guy's a jerk. Everyone wants him. He sleeps everybody. He's got a great speed aura. So, yeah, that's someone you could upgrade with. All right, Trunda's a good nuker. She can blow people up, so that's awesome. Who else is in here that sucks? Magnar. Oop, I already beat him. So Magnar here. He's a freaking awesome nuker. He can kill my team very easily. Yeah, definitely could do it. In here, Tormund. This guy, I think, has an AoE that can crush everybody, removes all buffs, attacks all enemies. Yeah, so he actually is really good, but he's not good against Elhain. I can wipe his ass with Elhain because she can, if she gets frozen or anyone gets frozen. I also just got Yakarl, and he has freeze, freeze, what is it? Counter. We'll just say counter to freeze. How's that? Because I can't think of it. So he's got counters. That would work too. Who else we got in here? I don't know if he's good, but whatever. Valkyrie's just good if you need a defensive shield hero, and she does counterattack with it. So, yeah, that's a good option, too, if you need a new shielder. Deliana can be a nuker. I hate her because everyone has her. And any of the heroes that everyone has, I get bored with. So, but I hate her because I kill them every day. Like, I literally kill a Deliana, a Death Knight, a Rhonda, and now Arctic every single day that I play the game. So, I'm just bored of them, so I don't want to build them. That's just me. Let's refresh. All right, who else we got in here that's really, really good? All right, we're not going to talk about this guy because he's a real jerk, but, you know, whatever. Trying to find some normal nukers that everyone can use or everyone does use. This guy's actually pretty good. He has an unkillable, too. Where is he, this guy? Duke. You got to build him really strong and defensive, but yeah, he's got a pretty good hit. He's got an unkillable, he's got provokes, and he attacks all enemies, so that's pretty cool. Like, these are all heroes that can be upgrades for your main nuker. All right, so don't think that, like, this guy, the Rat King, if you fuse him, he's good, or if you happen to pull him, he's really good. This guy is a complete jerk right here. Gaius, the Gleeful, he will kill everyone, and I hate him. Attacks all enemies, and he has a chance of placing asleep, and he does bombs and all this other crap. So, yeah, if you get this guy sped up, and then he gets an attack, yeah, you're basically the whole team's dead, and they're gonna blow up when they get a turn. So yeah, fun stuff with him, right? All the great heroes. Him, if you get him, the Rat King, and then what's that other guy? There's the other guy who drops bombs. There's that Demon Lord guy. He's a jerk too. So really, what the point here is that you don't need to ask anyone who's better or worse. All right, if you just kind of read their skills and just gauge who's the one that you're going to be building next versus what you have now, I think you'll be fine. And just read it out loud to yourself. I know that helps for me a lot of times. Just read it out loud. Be like, all right, cool. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, wait. Ooh, that does something that my other hero doesn't do. That's really where you want to go. Now, once you're settled on the 5 and your main team, as they call it, there's no such thing as a main team in this game. But in the beginning, you're going to have a main team because you ain't got no one else. So, yeah, you ain't. I say ain't. All right. But then once you move forward, you're going to be like, all right, so I have these guys maxed. Who do I build next? Well, that's an easy problem. It really just depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Like right now, my main concern at this point is faction wars. So I'm going to build the ones that I'm close to. That's the hero I'm going to build. It's not going to be which hero is going to get me further. It's going to be which hero gets me further in what I'm trying to accomplish. So there's no reason for me to focus on anything else. Now, I am kind of working on Clan Boss, but I don't really have a good setup. So that's something that I would probably put energy into building a hero as a one-off if I thought it was going to help my Clan Boss. But in here, I have High Elves that were at 55 stars. Bannerlord, we're literally on the last level that we just can't beat. So we're trying to beat that one. And I just built Risk Arm to get me through it because I needed a hero who didn't die. And I was using Conqueror. So we have Risk Arm built for this. So now the next time it pops up in 3 days, hopefully I can beat it. So I built a new level 60 just because I want to finish this. All right. And the reason I do that is because every time you finish something, guess what? You don't have to finish it again. That's it. Like you're done. That's the great part about this game. Once you finish one thing, and I think that's what people get confused on. They think they have to build 100 heroes all at once. Unless you're going for the world record of beating the game and all the content, then that doesn't matter. Like none of that matters. There's people who spent, I would honestly say upwards of hundreds to even $1 million on this game over the last 4 years that have beat this game in way quicker than you ever will. So that shouldn't be it shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be just to play, have fun, and get the heroes that you want and level the ones you need. So now I'm going to build this guy. So we're going to build him. Then we're going to move into High Elf. I actually built another High Elf too. We built Hyria. So now we're going to try and see if she can get us through High Elf Crypt. And if she can't, guess what? We build another one, and that's how it works. You just constantly try to finish one thing at a time. All right, Dark Elf Crypt. I actually got to 54 stars with only 360s. My other 2 heroes are all 50. So really, I just need to pick 2 heroes that I'm going to get to 60 and move myself forward. We are using Spirit Host. We're using Kale, and we're using Visix. So those are the 3 main ones, and then I just need to get 2 more heroes that can kind of do more damage in here and maybe get some crowd control going up in here. All right, so that's basically where my thing lies. Now, if you were in your game normal, let's say your middle game and you're trying to beat Fire Knight, well, this is what I did. I went and I started building Fire Knight heroes. So we ended up building Soul Bond so that we can get turn meter reduction. We started building Crimson so we can get turn meter reduction and some 3 hitters on our A1. And then we also later on got Armiger built because Armiger is awesome at turn meter reduction. And then basically the Fire Knight doesn't get any turns. Dunskies, you bring those 3 in. You bring a healer like Valerie, and you bring Apothecary if you got them, or anyone else that has 3 hitters, and you take the shield down. I mean, you can use Coffin Smasher has a 3 hit on his A1. Let's go through all of them. No 3 hit. I have her in Relentless, so basically she gets as many turns as she wants. She's got a 2-hitter and a turn meter reduction. You could use Visix. She's not so great on it. Drexar has a 3-hitter for Fire Knight if you need it. Who else got 3 hitters? Who's got my 3 hitters here, boy? Dark Aethel, I don't think she does. I know regular one does. Yeah, she hits 2 times, which is good for the early game, not great for late. You do have regular Aethel, who has a 3-hitter on her A1, so you could use her. So you see what I mean? You're just going to look for the one thing that's hurting you in your fight. If you don't have a healer, well, build a healer. Stop everything. Stop building everybody. Build that one healer to max. And when I say build them, I mean build them. Get all their artifacts to 16. Get all their skills maxed if you can, depending on the hero. This is subject to debate. The skill part. This part, I'm going to say, for me personally, because I'm not summoning so much, it's not as bad for me. All of my hero skills are maxed, except for the current ones that I'm working on. But other than that, build it. Masteries should be maxed. Max them. I don't care what you say. Just get them maxed. Spend 2 days, 3 days. I don't care how many days it takes you. Just max them once you're farming 15. If you're not farming 15, this conversation is not for you. You should be getting your ass stronger with your gear. All right. Artifacts, like I said, all the 16, get your accessories. Get something that matches at least a little bit. Like she has an attack. She has crit damage, and then she has resistance, right? Find the ones that match. Don't put a bunch of defensive gear and level it to 16 for an attack hero, unless there's some specific reason that you need it, all right? Get the correct stats. Get a crit glove or a crit damage glove, all right? Get an attack or a defense chest, depending on what the hero is. Get a speed boot or no speed boot and extra defense, depending on the hero you're using, all right? Like, don't waste time on things that don't matter, and focus on one hero at a time when you're building the next hero. That's all I'd have to say about that. All right, so that's kind of what I would say is your best bet. Pick the hero that's going to help you get through the next fight. And if you don't know what that hero is, feel free, leave a comment on my channel. I don't care. I answer questions as much as possible, and I'll answer questions that are stupid. And I'll answer questions even if I sound stupid. Like, I don't know everything about this game. I've been playing it for now 11 months on this account, and I'm trying to not watch other videos at this point. Like, I used to watch them for the last 2 years. I'd watch, the other content creators, but now I try not to because I kind of want to figure it out, But if you are in that boat where I was for 2 or 3 years, where you're like, I don't understand this game at all, then yes, you're going to want to watch some other videos. Watch the videos and be like, all right, so what is this guy using? When you see a video with somebody who's using, let's say you just started, maybe you're 2 months in, and you see somebody who does a video with Yannicka and Syl and Drexstar and whatever, Archmage. Let's say they use all these heroes. What can you do to emulate this with lower version heroes? That's basically how it works. So Syl is very hard to emulate. So how would you emulate her, or at least use her? You could build Diabolist. You could put a stun set on her, and then she can stun the whole team. She can speed everyone up. She can't revive, but maybe you have someone like, what is that guy? There's a Grinner. Maybe you have Grinner. He has a healer and a reviver. You could bring him in to revive if you have a hero that keeps dying. And everyone, let's say you have 5 heroes that are defensive and 1 attack hero. You could take one of the defense heroes out, put Grinner in. There you go. Problem solved. He'll revive your attacker. The other guys will stay alive because they're defensive. All right, so just put a little more thought. This video is more about teaching you how to think rather than telling you who to build. And that's kind of what I wanted to get out there. It's more how to decide who's better for you and your account. Because you might have, you do have probably at least 50 other heroes at this point, if you've been playing for months, 50 other heroes that you could build that are better than the ones I have. All right. And they may, if I had them, I would probably get through the game a lot quicker. Obviously, I can only build all these guys. I have rares, and I have the voids that you could pull, and that's it. This is it. This is my roster. This is my backup. I got all these guys, so I got to figure out who's who. Like this Shadowkin lady, I thought she sucked, and I actually love her now. She's one of my faves. We're going to be getting her to 50 soon, so she may even make it onto my 60 list. I don't know, but there's tons of heroes in here, and they all do something special, and you don't know which ones. Even a hero that you might think is bad, maybe when mixed with another hero in here that's also considered bad, could be good. So like if you have a hero that, like Hellfreak, that can increase all your buffs, all your debuffs, whatever I don't know. She increases buffs. So let's say you have somebody who's unkillable. Now she can increase it up to the next level, kind of like Valerie, where she makes it unkillable for 2 turns. Now that could be very valuable. You know what I mean? Think about which heroes can kind of mix and match with other heroes, and that would really help you out in your game. All right. So that's really about it as far as who to pick and who to choose for your next 60, or who to level next and who to pick, because the ultimate goal here is to make sure you're building things that are progressing your account. So pick one thing. If you're having trouble with Fire Knight, spend a week, spend 2 weeks, spend a month. Spider 15 took me, I think, a month to beat because I didn't understand the fight. And that's why it took me so long. Even watching other videos, I still didn't understand the fight and how the mechanics worked and what I was trying to accomplish. Like, everyone's like, yeah, you can drop turn meter. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know what the hell that means. Like, I don't know what that means when I started. I was like, what do you mean drop turn meter? I'm like, what do you mean? Just get one guy to drop the turn meter? Like I have no idea. Like, they don't ever really explain it. And that's why I just had to mess with it and die a bunch of times, waste a bunch of energy, and for a month I couldn't figure it out. And then I figured out, okay, a bunch of turn meter heroes. You bring in Soulbond, you bring in Armiger, you bring in all these heroes that can drop turn meter, and then get a tank whose HP matches. You got to have a tank that their HP is the lowest. I brought in Zephyr Sniper, and all of a sudden I'm winning it. So now I can beat Spider like a champ, So just know that it's a pain in the ass. Here, right? We'll end this video with what took me a month to freaking figure out. All right, this is what took me a month, so that you guys can see it. Do I have my Spider 15? Here we go. We're going to do this, but we're going to take him out, and we're going to bring our girl back in. Where is she? Here we go, right here. And then we're gonna do this. I think she has to do this as a priority. First choice. Because I'm forgetting that we are that we're a long time ago that I use this. I don't use it anymore. But then again, I also don't farm 15. All right, save this. So now I believe everybody should be in their right setups. Yep, she's set up. They all have priorities on their turn meter reduction. She doesn't need a priority, but we take off her ranger skill, and he doesn't need a priority either for this fight. So we're gonna close this, save, close this. There we go. That's my Spider 15 team. Actually, I think I put speed up. I don't believe I had. You know what? Yeah, let's just try it. Let's see what happens. It's been a while since I did it. So this is what took me a month to beat. And it's because I just didn't understand it. And now we're beating it with 2 uncommon heroes and 3 rares. Okay, so now you have your tank. See, this is the stuff that no one explains, and you can go watch my videos. I'm not going to go deep diving into this, but it's like just figuring out that, see how the turn meter just keeps going down? Like, that's it. And see how the spiders are always attacking that one hero? It's because her HP is low, all right? As you can see, Crimson Slayer is really good at killing spiders. But basically, Zephyr can do this. Like, Zephyr can be a tank, and she's only an uncommon, but she's defensively based, which means the more defense I put on her, which is what I need, the more damage she's going to do. All right? And it took me forever to figure this out. Remember, I only had the starting 5 at this point. So out of this entire team, the only ones I had and were built was essentially out of this team, Spirit Host. That's it. So I had 1 hero out of this to do what I needed to do. But this is in the beginning. Now I have all these heroes built. I can kind of switch and mix up for other dungeons and make sure that, it's a lot easier for me to build a team now because I may already have the team that can do it. Whereas in the beginning, you have nothing. You just have to build them from scratch, and you have to learn the fight, and you have no idea how to beat it, and everything sucks. So I don't want you guys to ever think that you can't do it and that you can't beat it. All right, you can and you will. I can do it without any freaking good heroes. So if I can do it with random ass heroes, then you can do it with any heroes. All right. So that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to let this fight play out, and then we'll call it a day. If they die, I'm going to laugh, but it is what it is. Okay. So I hope if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, drop them down below. I answer all questions as of right now because I don't have 1 million subscribers. So hopefully I can continue to do that for a while. And I don't want to ever give that duty up. I want to answer you guys directly. So anything you get from my channel is literally from me. And remember, if there's other people here, I definitely want other people on the channel to answer questions. If you see somebody, try not to be rude about it, obviously, but yeah, if somebody puts up a question and I didn't answer it yet, or even if I did answer it and you got something to say also, leave a response. I mean, you guys are the best resource to each other, is you guys answering questions, all right? So this is how to choose your next hero. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd. And you guys, take care. Hey!